can't allow the government to be accountable to nobody. There has to be a balance.
There's two Hong Kong. There's a Hong Kong for the poor, and there's a Hong Kong for the rich.
China doesn't need the Communist Party to be a great country. China is a great country. China has been a great country since Westerners were living in huts.
Hi, my name is Michael Law. I'm actually from Vancouver, but I went to elementary school in Hong Kong. And Hong Kong, Vancouver, both my homes, and both places have very sizable Hong Kong population. And I couldn't find one for the Solidarity of Hong Kong movement in Montreal, so I actually started it. And with the help of Kathy, Alicia, Elliot, and Kipper Miguel, we were able to organize this rally. And thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you so much.
The story about it actually is that I got a message from the creator of it, Michael Law. He's one of my good friends for a couple years now, around like 2:30 a.m., like Monday morning.
Michael messaged me on Facebook at 2:30 in the morning on Sunday night, or Monday morning I guess, noting that there wasn't any Montreal movement of any kind to support the Hong Kong protesters.
And we found that really surprising just because Montreal has like a very strong like subculture of protest.
And after that we decided to make a Facebook event for, well, I guess the Facebook event for this event. And from there it has just kind of snowballed into a giant community outreach thing.
We're not affiliated with any organization. In fact, we initially asked the Hong Kong Student Network to help, but they declined to officially endorse the event. So this is started by 4 students, and we don't belong to any organization. Our next speaker is Nick. He's a graduate student doing his study on imperialism and special interest in China.
Hi, I'm Nick. I actually don't have a special interest in China, academically speaking. I have a personal interest in China. And in 2008, my cousin Ladin hung a banner off the Great Wall during the Olympics saying, "One world, one dream, free Tibet." And she did it with a bunch of foreigners with foreign passports. And in the media, they asked her, why did they have foreign passports? Why couldn't you use a Chinese citizen to do this? And she said, if a Chinese citizen do this, that we would never see them again.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley and I'm a citizen of Hong Kong. I was born and raised in Hong Kong in 1992 and I only came to Canada 4 years ago because of Miguel. I'm here today to just share a few thoughts about the movement in Hong Kong right now. She is probably the last person that you would expect that she would be in such protest. If you know her, then you would probably think that, oh, she's just, kind of silly and childish, whatnot. But she is my best friend, and she went to the protest, and there she is. She was fighting for our people. She got pepper sprayed. Her family is so worried about her, they don't agree her to go to the protest. I watch the news every single day, and I talk to my friends, and we were all saying that we're so afraid to get up in the morning because we don't want to see news, like bad news, that there might be a reenactment or whatsoever of like the 1989 massacre back in the Tiananmen Square.
Today, I've been given the honor to speak on the behalf of the Black Island Nation Youth Front, and the opportunity to show the Hong Kongese our gratitude for their support when Taiwan was in need. I want the people of Hong Kong to know that they are not alone, that even though we're abroad, our hearts are with them as they fight for the rights they deserve. These series of political incidents show that the autonomy Hong Kong was promised does not exist. Today, the Chinese government uses the power they gave themselves to limit Hong Kong's rights to participate in elections. The fact that the government has broken the law is unacceptable.
Hi Michael, happy.
咁又在於乜嘢咧咁樣？
I think what's most important to know is that they are pro-democracy, not anti-China. It's really, I guess the most important thing I would say or note is that it's a very peaceful protest. The biggest goal is to not incite another 1989 Tiananmen Square incident because that would be absolutely horrific and just not okay on so many levels.
What's going on is that the Chinese government has been tiptoeing around Hong Kong for a long time because of the special conditions in the city, the two systems, one country rule.
It goes back to the late 1990s when Britain handed over Hong Kong to China, and Hong Kong since then has been a pretty autonomous / semi-autonomous region.
They've been really, especially after the lessons of Tiananmen in 1989, they've been really cautious about democracy movements and movements towards greater freedom of speech, because ultimately the main interest of the Chinese government is to keep the Chinese government in power. And being the oligarchy that it is, it's very easy for them to clamp down on dissent because they don't have to face elections.
Recently, China passed a policy about their electoral policy, and it basically said that, to put it in layman terms, that they could have direct elections in 2017. However, they would have to choose from a pre-approved list of candidates from the Chinese government.
China is trying to determine who can be elected, and they want to have they say you can all vote, but I'll say who can be your leaders, and I find that's not really democracy.
This is China's century, and the world will listen to what the Chinese people do. And Hong Kong scares Beijing. Hong Kong terrifies the cadres of the Communist Party because Hong Kong is proof that China doesn't need them. That the Chinese people can make their own decisions, elect their own leaders, have the freedoms that we take for granted, and maybe imagine freedoms that we in the West haven't thought of yet.
Democracy and freedom are never granted to any country, and the only way to succeed in pursuing these values is to stand against the unjust system. We have come to the point where we must decide whether we want to live with our knees on the ground or stand up straight like true human beings. This is more than a political issue. This is about a government breaking its promise. This is about government acting for its own greed instead for the good of their own people.
I'd like to let everyone know here, and also people in Hong Kong, students in Hong Kong, that the Indonesian people are watching your struggle and I'm getting inspiration from it, and I believe people here too. For the longest time, of course, we've been told that the youth are only interested in their iPhones, in shopping, especially the youth. They call us the youth in Hong Kong. You find the best of shopping malls in Hong Kong, and we've been told that this is the only thing they're interested in. But I think today, this week, we have seen that it's been proven wrong, that the youth will struggle for their rights.
First to come and boycott and protest were actually the students. The leaders of the protests, Alex Chow, Joshua Wong, are also part of the Federation of Students, Scholarism, and other types of campaigns too. A lot of these leaders of the protests have been under the age of 20, which I feel like is completely inspiring, and I think was a big motivation of why I decided to get involved in this as well.
Hey everyone, I'm Milton St, and I'm a member of No One's Illegal Montreal. From Montreal to Hong Kong, police forces around the world are charging ahead in a one-sided arms race with the people. While we pick up umbrellas and bottles, cops are brandishing bigger and better instruments of war every day. So whether a protester decides to break a window or pick up after their own garbage, we must denounce police brutality in any place and in any form. All police brutality is excessive.
The umbrellas were initially used to actually as a form of protection against the tear gas and pepper spray. And on the front lines, the protesters on the front lines getting pepper sprayed, people would pass them up umbrellas, pass them up saran wrap, goggles, anything to protect themselves from the tear gas and pepper spray. And as a result, they have just adopted the umbrella as their, I guess, icon of the protest.
Legitimacy is on our side. We're fighting for democracy and solidarity with the students because we know that empowering a people, they will empower others. And freeing a person, and he or she will free others. Democracy is contagious, and we will live freely.